Twilight Masquerade has been out for a while now, and things are looking really interesting when taking a look at this set. From the sealed product to the single cards, things are going crazy good for Twilight Masquerade. It didn't get the best reception going in the spoiler season. A lot of people weren't interested in opening up this set. This is looking like it's heading towards being one of the best in the Scarlet and Violet era so far. But will it hold on to this boom right now that it's having? Well, today we'll be taking a look at Twilight Masquerade a little bit after release now, and see, now that the dust has settled, the pre-order prices have settled a little bit, where does everything lie regarding sealed product and of course single card prices. Let's jump into it. Alright, first off, we're looking at TCG Player at the sealed booster box price for Twilight Masquerade, and this set is actually doing reasonably well. I mean, obviously it's going down as to be expected. When a set gets first released, it does drop straight away. Now, there is less of this set available around out there at the moment. A lot of places, especially here in the UK, had smaller allocations when it comes to their distributions. I don't know if that's the same over in the US. I believe it is, but there's just less of this around. You probably find that the Pokemon Company is just kind of like, you know what, we did a lot for Scarlet and Violet Base and Palo Evolved and the first few sets, and people weren't buying them. So they're probably just, you know, cracking down a little bit and having less of it out there to begin with. It's not to say there's going to be no more coming in the future, but just to start off with, there's a little bit less out there. We saw that with Temporal Forces, and now we're seeing it now even more so with Twilight Masquerade. $105 for a booster box. You know, it's been set at 105 for a while. It did tick up to 110, did drop to as low as 100, and now it's slightly on the uptick. Over here in the UK, you could pick this up anywhere between 100 to, I'll say 110 on average. This tends to be a little bit more expensive than some of the previous sets we saw. Like Palo Evolved was like 90, Scarlet and Violet Base was like 80. I think we even saw Obsidian Flames go for 90 at one point. And even Paradox Rift actually was 90. But Temporal Forces and Twilight Masquerade, both of these sets haven't really dipped below 100. They've actually starting to go on the rise a little bit, you know, around that 105, 110, 115 max. So, you know, expect this to sit around 100, 110 probably for a while. And then down the line, when there's some more reprints come in, then expect it to drop, like just a normal cycle of a sealed product. Now we're going to be taking a look at the single card prices, because that is where craziness is happening. So let's jump in. Alright, so we're taking a look at PokeJace.io for the Twilight Masquerade prices. Things are getting crazy, guys. Like, I mean, silly crazy. We've got some big money cards in this set. Like, huge. There's a ton of, like, playable cards in this set as well, which is helping a lot with the single card prices. This set's got some big money here. I mean, we've got the Greninja coming in. We're taking a look at the Greninja. In my opinion, I think this is one of the nicest special illustration rares that they've done, to be honest. It's absolutely beautiful. So we're looking at $152 on eBay, $152 on TCG, and $136 on Card Market. I don't believe there's anything graded as of yet. No, there's no graded cards yet. So it's too new. I'll be shocked unless there's this insane turnaround. So we take a look at the raw price and TCG Player. So TCG Player did actually drop down below 110 and is now on the uptick, whereas the average market price has stayed pretty steady for this card. This card is doing insane. I mean, it is the most expensive card in the Scarlet and Violet era so far. Now, we saw that with the Paleo and Fates Charizard, and then it did drop, and it's now sat around like 110. There's a lot of Paleo and Fates around. I don't know whether or not I think it's probably actually easier to pull the Charizard than it is to pull this Greninja. This Greninja is going to do insanely well. I mean, I compared this to the Blaziken from Chin and Rain, in the fact is that it's a final evolution. It's a very colourful card. It's in a set where you got quite a few amazing, like, you know, chase cards in it, or expensive chase cards in it, and the pull rates are tough, like Chin and Rain. They really are tough. So I would say this is similar to a Blaziken. I actually think this is probably going to be bigger than a Blaziken. I think more people prefer Greninja than Blaziken as a Pokemon. But the artwork's fantastic. The pull rates of this set is like 1 in nearly 1,000 packs to pull a specific special illustration rare. This Greninja falls into that category. If we keep going, there's some more cards. We look at the Carmine, another big special illustration rare. Again, we're looking at $100 to $120. 65 on Card Market is a bit mad. That's pretty crazy. I don't know that's actually going to be the case. It's probably actually more than that. But anyway, we're looking around $100 to $120. And as you can see, the average market price of this card has been bouncing around $100 to $120 for the longest. TCG Player did dip a little bit low to around that 70, and then it shot up. Again, really tough to pull. I believe this is a playable card, but, you know, very tough to pull. This is a big money card. You know, we start to see more and more of these female trainers being big, you know, Iono, Miriam and stuff like that. I'm not a huge fan of it. Personally, I like Pokemon. It's nice to see Greninjas in ahead. Having 2 cards over $100 a few weeks after release is pretty good. It's very, very good. Like, as a rule, don't forget when sets come out, cards drop in value very, very quickly. And with Temporal Forces, we saw quite low pre-order prices in compared to previous sets. And then cards started to climb up pretty crazy. With this set, we haven't really had low pre-order prices, but things just keep going up. Yeah, we've seen outliers in the past of certain cards do that. We saw Giratina from Crown Zenith do it, Giratina from Lost Origin, Aerodactyl from Lost Origin, you know, Machamp from Astral Radiance, and even in Scarlet and Violet era, we've seen the Magikarp go up and stuff like that. So we see a lot of cards that do, you know, rise pretty well. And this set's been out a couple of weeks now, 2-3 weeks now, and you expect people cracking packs, our prices to fall. But that's not the case. That's actually quite interesting. This isn't the only one as well. We'll get into some of the others. If we go back and we take a look at some of the others, we've got the Perrin coming in. I love this one with the Growlithe. I think the combo between the two is amazing. So looking at this one, again, we've got another special illustration rare trainer. Again, not a fan of the trainer, but can't deny how good it's doing. $80 roughly, a little bit less on Card Market. So the average market price dipped a little bit, and then it has been trickling up and kind of been pretty steady over the last few days, whereas TCG Player is now matching the average market price. Like I say, sitting around $80. That's still a big ticket card. There are not many cards in the Scarlet and Violet era that are around that $80 mark. They're just not. You know, Paradox Rift doesn't have a card around there. Temporal Forces, I mean, you got the Raging Bolt. Iron Crown's just a little bit less now than 80. You take a look at Obsidian Flames, none of the cards do. Scarlet and Violet Base, none of the cards do. Paldea Evolved, got the Magikarp, that's it. So yeah, it's pretty crazy to have 3 cards over $80, one being, you know, 150, then one being 100 to 120, and then one being 80, and still holding strong after release. It's just really, really good. And of course, we've got more cards. Like I say, this is just a playable set. We have the Urshuluna, the Big Bear, coming in. I think this one will probably drop. If I had to choose a card that will probably fall out of near the top 5, is this special illustration rare, but we'll have to wait and see. I mean, already it's starting to drop already compared to some of the others which are actually going up. This one's fallen from, you know, around $90 now to less than 80, and is probably continue. I mean, even on eBay 78, TCG Player 56, Card Market 63. I expect this to fall out of favor pretty soon. One thing I don't think will fall out of favor is the Eevee. Now, I actually think this will be a top 3 card in the set, potentially top 2. This is going to be a collector's chase card. You know, if you love Eevees, which most people do, it's going to do really well. We saw the Magikarp do really well. This is a normal illustration rare. The pull rates illustration rares in this set are really difficult, especially to get a certain one you want. I think, in fact, it's harder than Paldea Evolved. So it's going to be interesting to see how well this Eevee does. I think it will do well. Already, it's sitting at over $40, nearly $50 for an illustration rare. It's crazy. You know, it's the second, I believe it's the second most expensive illustration rare. I think the Magikarp's still number 1. I think it's between this and the Groudon from Paradox Rift. But yeah, this is good. This is doing well, and it will continue to do well, especially if the pull rates remain tough, and you know, people still would want to get this Eevee in their collection. I mean, it's, in my opinion, it's probably one of the best Eevee cards ever printed. I mean, if you love Eevee, I mean, you've got a ton of them in the artwork. The artwork's amazing. It's just crazy good. I mean, we haven't pulled it yet, which is a shame. Hopefully we will. But I would love this in my collection. Yeah, I would love to get this in a PSA 10. It would look absolutely beautiful. But yeah, you've got illustration rares that are performing as well. And then on top of that, you've got a lot of playable cards. I mean, we have the Till Mask Ogerpon, which is, you know, seeing some competitive play. We've got the Buddy Buddy Poffin, a gold card. Gold cards are really tough to pull. That's pretty much using near enough every single deck that I've seen. You know, very, very popular cards. That's going to be holding very well. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the Ogerpons, but they are holding up. I mean, if we take a look, now I always look at sets, right? You know, if they have X amount of cards over a certain value, it's a strong performing set. We said that quite a lot on Sword and Shield and we looked at Evolving Skies. I'm not saying this is Evolving Skies, but when we looked at Evolving Skies at the time, it was like, look how many cards are above, you know, $10, $20. This is going to be a very, very good set. And that's what happened. And the same with Chill and Rain. It was like, look how many cards are above $10, $20. And that's basically what happened, right? We take a look at the Scarlet and Violet era, apart from 151, and I would say maybe Temporal Forces, there isn't that many sets that have quite a lot of cards at like $10, $20 plus. So this set has quite a few. I mean, if we scroll further down, right, we've got the first page here. We go all the way down to like this card, which is a regular EX at over $10. And I mean, you can even argue the Dragon Pulse about $10. So you're going to have what, 5, 10, 15, 20, over 20 cards, 23, 24 cards that are over $10. That's pretty good. And then when I look at a set with like how many cards are over $30, that's a big indicator how well the set will do. We take a look here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 cards over $30. We have 4 cards over 50. Soon probably the Eevee will be over 50. And then we have 2 cards over 100. Big things are happening with this set. You know, you've got a ton of playable cards. It's got a bit of a perfect storm going for it, right? There's less of it around, you know, available. Let's put it that way. The pull rates are tough. You've got playable cards right now. You've got big chase cards that people want in the future with the Greninja and the Eevee. I mean, look, I'm not a huge fan personally of the cards in the set. There isn't that many cards I like. There's like 3 cards, maybe 4 a push that I like. Greninja, the Eevee, the Frostlass illustration rare, and I do like the combo between the Perrin and the Growlithe. But apart from that, there's not a huge amount of stuff I like from this set. That doesn't mean, just because I don't like the cards in the set, doesn't mean I can't deny how well this set is performing, you know, and how well it could perform in the future when it comes to sealed product. And that's one thing we have to take in mind. In the future, we'll keep a close eye on Twilight Masquerade, along with all the other Scarlet and Violet era sets, just because it does have that potential, and it's already showing that even a couple of weeks after release, just like Temporal Forces. There you have it, guys. That's what's been going on with Twilight Masquerade a few weeks after release. This set is actually doing better than I thought. When I heard that there was going to be less of this set, I was like, less availability like Temporal Forces. I was like, okay, that's a good thing for it. I was like, it all depends on the pull rates though, because if the pull rates are good, then this set might not do very well. But if the pull rates are tough, like Temporal Forces, I think this set's going to be a very strong performing set. And then when the pull rate data start kind of saying this is the hardest set to get the pulls on, I'm like, well, perfect storm incoming. This set is crazy. Now, one thing I will say is this set has had a lot of hate towards it, you know, leading up to the release. You know, I wouldn't say hate, but people didn't really care. And I must say, I'm kind of one of them. I wasn't really, I'm like, even now, I'm looking, I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to open up any. I might go and get the certain cards I want. Sealed product wise, that's a different story. Sealed product has the potential. Right now, $100 a box seems pretty reasonable. So for me, I'm looking at it going, you know what? We could have a Chill and Rain type set on our hands, or a Fusion Strike type set on our hands in the future. So far on the Scarlet and Violet era, there haven't been that many sets, apart from Palette Evolved. They maybe, you know, Temporal Paradox. They're real big outliers. They really stand out and go, oh my god, look all these amazing Pokemon, look all these amazing cards that really stand out. It seems to be sets that have like 1 or 2 cards that are doing very well, that's, you know, helping it. Iono in the Magikarp, of course, my boy Tita in Palette Evolved. But then you look at like Paradox Rift, and it's like beautiful cards. Absolutely love Paradox Rift, but there's no real big chase. A lot of the chase cards, Roaring Moon and stuff, have dropped in value around $50, $60, not a huge amount. But then we look at sets like, you know, Temporal, highly playable set, ton of amazing SIRs, and they're all going up in value. They're all doing very well. Tough pull rates, less of it around, perfect storm. Twilight Masquerade is even more of a perfect storm, but this time with 2, in my opinion, 2 real big chase cards in the Greninja and the Eevee. It'll be really interesting to see how this will perform in the future, but we'll take a look at it every month as we go along, and we take a look at all the different sets and how booster boxes are performing. Right now, Palette Evolved is the only Scarlet and Violet era set that's making moves, over $130 a box, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, Twilight Masquerade, in my opinion, has the potential to be at least a middle-of-the-road set, which I think is very good. If you made it this far into the video, guys, and you've enjoyed it, make sure to smash the like button, make sure to subscribe for more Pokemon content, and let me know your thoughts about Twilight Masquerade down in the comments. Are you enjoying this set? Do you think this is going to be a good long-term investment? I think it will. I think it has a good potential for sealed product investment. Single card prices. So when reprints come and more of this set gets open, I do expect some of these prices to drop. That Greninja is holding down the fort incredibly well, along with the Carmine. So it'd be really interesting to see. I do feel like, though, the Greninja will become one of the biggest chase cards in the Scarlet and Violet era. That's going to be my guess. We'll find out. Time will tell. But that's my guess right now as it stands. If you want to know what's going on in the sealed Pokemon market right now, then make sure to click the video on screen. If you watch more Pokemon content, guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Alright guys, that's it from me in today's video. As always, you guys are legends. See you in the next one.